Adrien Broner versus Bill Hutchinson. This is a 10-round fight that is happening on Friday. Let's get into it. Let's start with the man, the problem, Adrien Broner. 34 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, 24 wins by way of knockout. A little different than my usual breakdown. Usually, I'm saying I try and give you it from details and behind the scenes from my perspective and my experience in the professional world of sport and this and that. But it's a little bit different, man, because, we haven't seen AB in the ring in 2 years. Right? He was supposed to fight Omar Figueroa last year, but he got canceled. Then he was supposed to fight Ivan Redkach, and that got canceled. Then he was supposed to fight Henry Lundy, I believe it was. They were supposed to fight Michael Williams Jr., then that got canceled. And so now we're fighting Bill Hutchinson. And the reality is, man, we don't know what type of Adrien Broner that we are going to get. We just don't know. When Adrien Broner announced his next fight and when it was going to be, man, I looked at the time from when it was announced to when he was supposed to be the fight date. I saw him at a press conference and I was thinking to myself, there is no way that AB is going to be able to get into boxing and fighting shape in a month and a half, 2 months. There's just no way he was going to do it. He looked like he was walking around at like 180, 190 pounds. There was just no way how he was going to be able to get back into shape. So maybe that was part of it why the fight was canceled the first time. Right? It just didn't look like he was working out too much. And then there was some interviews where he said what was going on behind the scenes and some of the stuff that he was facing. And I know AB is always facing something, and many people give him a lot of hard time in between all of that. And it can often seem like, he's crying wolf in some capacity. But some of the stuff that people face in life, man, it's hard to just break that. When things are calling you in your toughest moments, man, you've been answering the call for so long, it's hard to stop it, get refocused, get realigned, and move on in a positive direction. So there was a lot of things that was happening in AB's life. But since this new date, right, in the recent year, it looked like he's been working out. He's been more disciplined. He's been focused. Looks like he is in much better fighting shape from the recent videos that I've seen of him. Again, he's in better shape, looks to be in better spirits, right? And that foundation that made him a problem years back, like it's still there. When he's sparring, right? I still see the jab. I still see the little quickness. I still see the reflexes. You still see particles of what made AB a 4-division champion. It's still there. He has aspirations to say, I want to come up and I want to shot at the belt again with these cats. Now, this fight is going to tell us a whole lot about this version of AB. I don't know AB personally, but from what I've seen of him and heard him talking, as I said, he's been battling a whole bunch of different things outside of the ring. And because all of the stuff that's happening outside of the ring and we haven't seen him consistently, we can often forget like how good this man was in his prime. 4-division champion was a problem, man. I'm saying? The speed mixed with the power and the natural athleticism and the confidence and the movement inside the ring and the counter-punching ability and the IQ and the defense and just how he carried himself all in the ring. I don't think we're going to get that same version of AB, but we might get a few of those things, but we're not going to see all of the things that made AB that 4-division champion because he's battled a whole bunch of stuff outside the ring and he's a different fighter. He's aging. So he has to adjust with the times of these boxers nowadays. But let's go back a bit to when we last saw AB, when he fought Giovanni Santiago in 2001, his first fight back since 2019. This is another 2-year layoff. In that fight, man, AB looked okay, not great, right? I wouldn't say he looked particularly good either, but he looked okay, right? We hold certain people to a high standard, and I'm always going to be honest. And I'm a big supporter of AB inside of the ring, right? He looked okay. He didn't throw a whole lot. That fight, his defense and movement wasn't as sharp. He just looked rusty to me, right? But his jab was still solid. AB's got a very good jab, and that was still apparent even after the layoff. but his timing was off. His rhythm was off. His flow was off. And his movement was just a little bit off. And he wasn't as explosive as we usually are accustomed to seeing him. And the interesting part about that fight, too, is many people thought AB lost that fight, right? But you could still see, man, that there are still sparks of that old AB still in there, but you only saw it in spurts. So I don't know, man. If he looks anything like he did in this last fight, man, this could make things a lot more interesting. But let's talk about his opponent, Bill Hutchinson. 20 wins, 2 losses, 4 draws, and 9 wins by way of knockout. Hutchinson had 1 fight last year. Before that, his last active years was 2019. But before those 3 fights in 2019, his previous fights were back in 2014. And I was thinking to myself, yo, what is with all this that's a long time to not be involved in the sport. But then I realized, yo, the man's an attorney. Like, he's practicing law. And I respect that, because that's a profession that requires you to dedicate your full time to it, but so does boxing. So that's probably why he took some time off, right? But I got to respect that as well, too, because at this level, I'm sure he's making a lot more money practicing law than he is in the boxing ring. And he's not taking no punishing blows and body shots when he's practicing law. So for him to be able to come to the boxing ring and want to get into the ring, man, that says a lot about his character and his toughness and why he is boxing in the first place. And that's very admirable. Now, this is the first time that I'm hearing about him, and I tried and searched to try and find some tape on him, and I couldn't bring much to you. Like, I couldn't find a lot, right? I found a little sparring tape that was like a minute, but I didn't know which was which because it didn't have any captions as to this was Hutchinson or this was that. It was just 2 people slugging it out. And the other fight that I saw of him was where he stopped his opponent with a beautiful slip and hook counter punch, and that knocked his opponent out. So I couldn't find too much tape. So I'm like, man, let me watch some of the interviews to see if I could get a read on this guy, right? And I watched some of his interviews, and he sounds confident and he believes that he can win, and he wanted this fight. He called his people when he heard that AB was signing with Don King. Like, so he wanted this fight. He's not, so that shows me that he sees something that he can exploit, and he's not going to come in and lay down to AB, right? He said he's going to come in and he's not going to be gun shy. He is going to let his hands go when the opportunity is there. Right? He said he's going to stop AB with 9 knockouts. You know, it's tough. You know, there's not a lot of power behind it, but we'll see, right? We'll see what happens. So who wins? Again, as I said, I wish I had more to bring to you when it comes to the tape and giving you more, but you know, Bill has been more active than AB over the recent years, but AB's pedigree and his skill, man, mix that, you know, he should be able to win this fight by decision. Hutchinson doesn't have a crazy amount of power. He's not that fast. I think what he can do in this fight is be physical and try and wear down AB, but I think AB fights on the outside, and I think he jabs his way to a victory, right? Plus, Don King invested a lot of money into AB, and he's not trying to see AB lose this fight anytime soon. He's trying to set him up for something greater. So unless Hutchinson stops AB or makes it clear and concise, it's going to be tough to see AB lose this fight. But at the same time, I'm not counting out Hutchinson by no means. If AB comes in and looks half decent, man, I really think he can get the job done. But we'll see how he goes. Again, like, I got love for AB. I don't agree with all of the outside stuff that he does outside of the ring, but his talent inside the ring, man, and his story is very relatable. And I hope he does well, right? I think if he's in good spirits and he's been training hard and he has been taking it seriously and staying disciplined and staying grounded and staying locked in, his natural athletic ability will kick in, and those sparks of the old AB should be able to carry him through, because AB is a much better boxer than Hutchinson. in my opinion, right? So we'll see how this one goes. But I have Adrien Broner winning this fight by decision. What are your thoughts on this fight? Who do you have winning? Let me know in the comment section below. If you would like to support the channel, there's a couple ways you can do so. You can like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you would like to support by way of donation, you can find options in the description below. Also, my Cash App handle will be on screen as well. Any amount goes towards the growth of this channel and will be greatly, greatly appreciated. Recently just started membership on the channel. Don't always get to do all of the suggested videos you guys share in the comments, but if you become a member, those suggested videos rise to the top, and I will do my best to get those done for you. Or if you'd like to become a member just to support the channel, that will be greatly, greatly appreciated as well. Shout out to everybody that continues to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Shout out to everybody holding down the membership section. I appreciate each of you. So with all that being said, if you've been watching the video this long, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, and we'll definitely see you next time.